Let's get this done.
This is probably the most challenging record you have ever put on your turntable.
What up, Junction Crew? It's your boy Prince. And yeah, we back with another one for sure. Excuse me. So, I want to talk to you guys, about my experience and what I'm going through. Or should I say what I went through. I apologize for not being on the channel. I actually came down with COVID. Okay, so um, worst thing, I wouldn't wish it on anyone. I wouldn't. I wouldn't wish it on nobody. How I came in contact with it, I beats me. Okay, because I'm the type of person that everything I touch, I'm either washing hands, sanitizing, and I'm wearing 2 masks and all, so I can prevent, a spread to me getting it and to anyone else. You know what I'm talking about? So, let me start from the beginning. So, it was weird. Like, I didn't feel anything during the shift at my job. But then towards the end of it, I started getting to the car, and I'm like, man, it's getting hot. Like, it's really, really, really hot. And I'm like, I'm having windows rolled in the car, and I just can't seem to keep cool. So I turned on the AC and all, and I feel it, but I'm still can't seem to keep cool. So I'm like, something's just not right. So I'm like, maybe I'm just not feeling well. Maybe that's just all. So then I go home and I lay down or whatever the case may be. And then um, the next day, it was the same thing. Like, I was just kept getting really, really hot. And I'm like, yo, I gotta go get tested or something like that. And I'm praying, please don't let me have it. So as I'm driving and I'm praying, I'm like, please don't let me get there. And they tell me something bad. Please let me keep everything good. I get there. They said we're gonna test you in 15 minutes. Come back around, and we'll let you know what the results is. So I'm like, oh shoot. Please don't let it be that. Please don't let it be that. Now, in the interim of it all, I'm praying and I'm trying to keep cool and try to keep my thoughts together and everything like that. Now, I'm like, it's time. 15 minutes transpire. Let me go back in, see what's going on. So then I pull back in. The nurse tells me, sorry, hey Prince, you're positive. My world kind of crashed a little bit because at my job, we always honor those that, passed away from COVID and everything like that. And I'm like, oh, shoot. So, your mind is racing because with this whole thing, you never know what's going to transpire. You don't know if you're going to come out fine, and you don't know if you're not. So, you just praying, hey, please be with me, as I'm going through this, try to keep my mind at ease. And, yeah, so drive back home. And then I noticed that other things starting to transpire too. Like, I noticed that I can't really smell the air. Like, I feel the air, but I can't smell it, But I didn't lose my senses, though. At least not yet, anyway. So, there's a laundry list full of symptoms that you notice, And it was like maybe 8 or 9 of them. And it was a couple of them I was praying, please don't let me get, like, shortness of breath, because it takes a while for some people that get shortness of breath to recover. So I'm like, ooh, please don't let me get that. Then I was like, please don't let me get, loss of taste and all that kind of stuff. So I'm like, ugh, I don't want to have that. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like you living life, no matter what you taste, everything tastes like healthy choice soup. I was like, nah, I don't need that. You know what I'm saying? I like to have my food. I like to enjoy my food. You know what I'm talking about? So that was like, And then there was a couple other things. So I get home, whatever. checking my temperature. My temperature's high, you know. Um, and then my mom, shout out to my mom, she's been really, really supportive. And she was like, I've talked to some doctors, you need to try this medication and it's going to help you. It's going to break up everything, And yeah, she came through clutch for me. And I ended up starting to feel a lot better, but a lot of other symptoms started to come too. Like I actually did lose maybe about maybe 45 to 60% of smell. I started losing that, and when I went outside just to get some air, just to feel it, I felt the air, but it just felt warm. It might have been slightly cold outside, but all I felt was warm air. I'm like, geez, this angst is just not right. And then, of course, you have the loss of appetite. It comes on like a cold, though, too. So loss of appetite, and you're blowing your nose and all, and, coughing up and all that stuff like that. But I just say all this to say this. Blessings up high for me to continue to be here. Talk to my peoples out there, and everything like that. Like I told you, on my job, we honor those, that didn't make it from COVID. And we, express our thoughts all the time, And I just tell people, hey, listen, please, if you got the vaccination, it's not the end all be all. It's not, there's no cure for the thing. It's just, helping you to reduce your time being out, So I just tell you to do this, be safe out there. Be careful. Continue to wash hands, continue to sanitize, wear your mask. It doesn't matter if you're among friends or whatever. You never know. That person could be asymptomatic. They could have it. Don't even know it. Pass it off. And you never know how it's going to react on people. Some people might have respiratory issues, underlying situations. And for you not doing your part, you could have potentially spread that. And if anything ever happened to somebody, you would feel that responsibility all your life. You'll be like, darn, if I would have just took precautions to take care of myself, I could have took care of others as well in the process. So I just say that to say this. Be smart. Take care of yourself. Blessings up that I'm here. That I can still talk to my peoples, still live another day, still enjoy, what life has to bring, Nothing's ever promised. But I'm just blessed to continue enjoying whatever time I still do have here. But then enough for that, I just wanted to say that I just wanted to keep it truthful with you, as we say, keep it funky with you, and let you know what transpired. My voice is still a little off a little bit, but everything is returning. So shout out to those out there, that's continue to support your boy. There will be new content coming out soon. And I love y'all, and that's real. That's from the bottom of the heart. I love y'all. Don't worry about the, keep hope alive, fro, and all that good stuff. Brother about to go ahead and get rebraided, there ain't no situation, no. But I just had to take out the time to say I love you guys. Thank you for your support. And it's your boy Prince. Catch you in the next one. So I really don't want to chime in about the whole vaccination and should you get it or should you not, or you should wear a mask or you shouldn't. That's subjective. You choose however way you want to be. I just tell you to protect yourself as well as others. That's all I got to say about that situation. But I got a little more things I just want to say. Thank goodness that my mom worked around doctors and stuff like that, because they knew exactly what to prescribe to me for people to have COVID, because they actually had COVID and they got over it by taking, the certain prescription. So I can't walk into an office knowing that I have COVID, you know what I'm talking about? So, and then half of them won't let you in the office anyway. So you have to deal with them in your car. And so after I set up, I think it's called Telecare, and it's something like that where you speak to the doctor over the phone, you express your symptoms, and they can prescribe to you by calling your local drugstore and set you up to get your medication or whatever. It was like pins and needles, because it was like pulling teeth to turn around and get this prescription. Like the doctor, I spent a good minute talking to him, and he never sent my prescription through. And so I really needed this prescription like on the day that I was on, because you need to battle COVID as quickly as possible. And so to make a long story short, the doctor kept giving me the run around, and I could never reach him again because he said he pushed it through, and he never did, because I kept calling the drugstore, kept calling them, and they said nothing's been sent through. So after a whole day, transpired, the next morning, I still didn't get it. So then my mom flexed for me, and she called, and she got to run around so many times too, but she finally spoke to a doctor. And because of, her working around, very important people, she had to flex for them to be like, oh, we're going to call that drugstore. We're going to put that in right away. So if it wasn't for my mom and her connections, I probably wouldn't have that medicine. I probably would be really messed up. Probably, and really mess up my respiratory system, for the fact that they was dragging their feet. And the reason why the nurses felt some type of way, or doctors felt some type of way, is because they say, well, if you don't have the vaccination, oh, well, sorry for you. And if a doctor or a nurse feel that way, you really need to leave your job, because the job that you chose, the profession that you chose, is dedicated to helping people. So you have to push personal matters aside of how you feel, and you need to tend to those that's not healthy, that's not sick. That's sick rather. So I thought that was really, really dumb. But thank you for, the man upstairs having people be at the right places at the right time. That sets you up for success, despite those that feel differently. I'm just blessed and really appreciative of that, So that's just my little bit that I had to add, later.
If you like what you see, give it a thumbs up. If you love what you see, well, hit the subscribe button and the bell to stay up to date with brand new content.